Did you get the countdown going?
No. I got to transition over, right?
Mm-hmm. And you gotta go over to Facebook and then hit go live. There you go. And then hit the music bed. World. My mic off. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is 11:02 a.m. to be exact, and it is Everything Browns Nation here in Columbus, Ohio, and wherever you are at. You know the spew by now. But I'll say it again just because it's my duty as a Browns fan. Let me know where you are at and where you are making your comment from. Get that down in the comment section below, and you can see on your screen, comment your location for shout-outs. That's a new thing I just did right there where I point my finger. Comment your location for shout-outs, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Corey Boyd, and producing with me this morning is Steve. He is filling in for producer G, who is in Dallas to check out his Cowboys taking on the Philadelphia Eagles. He took a flight or a drive. I believe it was a drive. Let me correct myself. The Dallas. He's not here this morning, but Steve is filling in. He is a Browns fan as well. He will be chiming in today on the show. How you feeling, Steve?
Man, you got me? Okay. I only got one thing to say about how I'm feeling right now.
All right. You woke up feeling dangerous. I don't think your sound effect was loud enough. You might have to turn it up a little bit so they can hear you feeling dangerous. Natasha says, hey, Corey. She's barking. Clyde says, what's going on? Reginald said, what's up, Corey? We need this win today. And Kevin says, Wadsworth. All right. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get this going. Comment section, get it cracking. We need to get this going. Donnie says, big time Browns fan all his life. Go Browns. Steve Scott says, Vegas giving Cleveland 1 point, closer than I thought. So they're giving us a point now. I seen it was even. They're giving us a point. The line is switching back and forth. So you see this game is tighter than what we expected at the beginning of the year. If you would have said Cleveland is going to be a point or tie with Carolina at the beginning of the year, I probably would have laughed. But this is where we're at. We are better than what a lot of people expected, or maybe Carolina is not where a lot of people expected. They're on a 4-game losing streak. Superman is in the stadium today. We have to be the kryptonite to win. Let's go. Steven says, what up, Corey Boyd? How you doing, Steven? We're going to have some fun. Let's do this. Let's slay those Panthers. Baker Mayfield versus Cam Newton. It was Baker versus Deshaun Watson last week. So Baker Mayfield is taking on another dynamic quarterback this weekend. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm excited to see this game. We're back at home in the confinements of our house, the dog pound. We're not on the road. Our fans will be barking all afternoon as you hear the dog. That's what big dogs do. Y'all know how we do. Let's go. Tell me, we're going to get this started early. Who's going to win this game? Let me know and why. Get your prediction in the comment section. Who's going to win, why, and who is your big dog of the game? We're going to get this going early and often. Who wins and why? Let me know. So we're going to go to last week as we took on the Houston Texans. We were on a 2-game winning streak. And boy, did that come to a screeching halt fast. Woo! Now, last week I said I'm picking this game with my heart, not my head. I went with the heart. Which side is the heart on? I don't know, but somewhere in this area. I went with my heart, ladies and gentlemen. And that Texans defense in the first half, that was the big moment. The first half is what made us lose this game. As you can see on the screen right there. That's the new thing I'm going to do right now. It's because I like to. We turned the ball over 4 times, 3 times in the first half. Baker Mayfield accounted for all 3 of those turnovers. 3 interceptions resulted into points. 1 was a pick 6. That was big for this game. How did you feel about that loss? How did you feel when we lost to the Texans? Were you mad? Were you upset? Were you angry? How did you feel after that loss? Or was it a different feeling after you lost that game? Were you not as upset as you used to be when we took L's? Let me know how you felt after that loss. Steven says 27-20 Browns over the Panthers. How did you feel, Steve, after we lost that game to those Texans?
You know, I was all right with it. I mean, I really didn't expect a whole lot. I knew we were going down there. We were going up against the number 1 defense, or at least the number 1 defensive line in the AFC. There was no way. Our offensive line is kind of depleted with some nagging injuries. Even isn't J.C. Treader kind of out, or is he doubtful today with his ankle? There's a lot of not a whole lot of consistency with the offensive line. I wasn't really expecting him a lot. And then Baker going down there, yeah, I think he kind of got a little nervous, wanted to show out in front of some of his hometown fans down there in Houston. In that whole Texas area. I'm sure he had a ton of requests for tickets. But I wasn't upset. I wasn't mad. I was a little frustrated about the turnovers early in the first quarter. It seems like he couldn't really get anything off.
Okay, they said they can't hear you well. Maybe your mic might be a little low. but that's okay. Steve said basically he wasn't that mad after the loss. He wasn't mad at all. The Texans are the better team, ladies and gentlemen. The Texans are the better team. And I echo mostly what Steve said. I wasn't mad. Now, during the heat of the moment, some of Baker's interceptions, especially the one he threw to the end zone to Njoku, my goodness. That was the interception that made me most upset because he forced that ball into the end zone. He just forced it. It was triple coverage. Njoku was not even close to open. He didn't have a shot at that ball. Not at all. No shot. And he still forced it to him. That was the only one that I didn't like. Well, I don't like any turnovers, but that's the one that made me upset because this is what you get with Baker Mayfield, ladies and gentlemen. He is going to sling the ball. You take the good with the bad. It's a learning experience. I wasn't concerned with his last game. All his games are not going to be perfect. They're not. He's going to have the games against Cincinnati where he comes out on fire. He looks great. That's why he was picked number 1. But then you have these games. This is what's going to happen. Don't jump off a cliff. Hello? He's a rookie. A rookie. Rookies make mistakes. This is what happens. I was not worried. Just that one turnover. The one to Njoku, that's when you're trying to do way too much. Check it down. Take the yardage. That's the one that had me a little upset because Njoku was not even close to being open. 3 people in the end zone. Easy interception. Another halt of a drive where we were going down the field. But as far as his overall performance, I wasn't even not mad. He's a rookie. It's going to happen. This Texans team just rolled off 8 in a row. They made us number 9. Come on. Number 1 pick. He's going to be okay. I expect games like this. Let's pump the brakes for people who just want to, jump off the Baker bandwagon. Not saying you guys. I just seen, some people in the media. Hey, see? Yeah, I told you. Woo! Yeah. Mr. Cowherd talking about you. Come on now. Come on, guys. Let's go. Come on. He's a rookie. What do you want? 42 touchdowns and no interceptions because he's Baker. No, it's not going to happen. He's going to have these kind of games, but he's a competitor. He wants to win, and that's what I like about him. So we all need to calm down, pump the brakes. Now, when I say we, I'm talking about you guys. I'm talking about, the outside media that wants to get on Baker Mayfield after one bad game against a good Houston defense. But I was encouraged he didn't crawl in the hole like J.J. Watt said on the press conference. He came back out in that second half, and he kept playing his game. He still was firing the ball, still making plays, picking up his teammates. The fumble that Callaway had was crucial. It made me want to fall out of my chair and cry. But he picked him up. He picked up his receiver, patted him on the head, and said, hey, let's go get him. That's what you want to see out of your franchise quarterback, and that's what I want to see out of Baker Mayfield, my guy, my franchise quarterback. As T.O. says, that's my quarterback. That's what you want to see out of that guy.
The same pass that got intercepted earlier in the game, later on in the game, he made it. He just dropped it right in there. I don't remember who the receiver was, but it was exactly the same pass. So, I mean, he's consistent, and he's playing his game. So that's exactly correct.
Hollywood Higgins. It went to Hollywood Higgins was the touchdown pass. Beautiful throw. Looking in the comment section, my man Jake, about to hit up his grandpa's 95th birthday Christmas celebration. What up, Jake? My co-host on Everything Buckeye Nation. Give that man a hand clap. Happy birthday, Grandpa. 95 years old. That means he was eating his veggies, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you eat your vegetables. 95 years old. He must have been doing a lot of cardio. Good job, Grandpa. 95 years old. That's what I'm talking about. Bo says, yes, but honestly, he did great in the second half, was just too careless in the first half against a top defense. Steve says, happy 95th birthday. And Bo says, just so Herb Street was us not announcing, I hate Mr. OSU. Let us know how you feel about Baker Mayfield. The loss to the Texans, 29-13, 14 turnovers. 14 turnovers. Well, we had 14 turnovers. I don't know. 29-13, and our defense was just great if we had 14. 4 turnovers, 29-13. And our defense gave up a lot of yards, a lot of chunk play. But our defense didn't do bad if you really break down that ball game. 5 field goals for Fairburn. 5. He had 5 field goals. 4 turnovers, 5 field goals. And they had a pick 6. Our defense didn't do bad at all in that game. And if you look at it, they were living on the football field. So they didn't do bad at all. When you look at the game again, the defense lived on the field. Houston owned the time of possession on the field in the first half due to the turnovers, due to them possessing the ball, and only come away with 29 points, 5 field goals by their kicker, and a pick 6. I was encouraged with our defense. You clean up those turnovers. That's a different ball game. But at the end of the day, a loss is a loss. Now, people who know me, listen. When we lose, if it's a terrible loss, I'll come over here and yell and scream and go off. But that's wasn't a terrible, terrible loss to me, especially who we went against, and just clean up the turnovers. And I am not that upset. But let me know how you feel, and let me know whatever you're feeling, where you're making that comment from, and why are you feeling that way. This is Everything Browns Nation, a Fan Chat Nation production. You can catch us on iTunes, Google Play, SoundCloud. You can catch Everything Browns Nation on Facebook, which you're watching right now, YouTube. Make sure you subscribe, like, share us, love us. And also, please, if you can't watch us, you can watch us later on iTunes, Google Play, and SoundCloud. We are here from 11 to 12 every Sunday morning. I just had to get that out there in case you didn't know. Robbie says, go Browns. Kevin says we can beat them. Kevin says Cam has got a bad shoulder. And Kevin says he is in Charlotte. Scott says, if you told me in August 4-7-1 going to Carolina game, I would have said wishful thinking. Kevin says backup kicker 2. And you see on the screen, we're playing Carolina. And going into this game, I was very upset on how one player was used last game and the past couple of games, to be exact. Now, there was some news that came out on this player, Duke Johnson. He's dealing with some personal issues. His grandmother actually passed away. So it's more than likely he's not going to play today. But before that news came out, his past 2 games, he hasn't got many touches at all. And I wanted to know why. Could this be the reason? I don't know. But is Duke Johnson being underutilized? To me, yes. He's had 5 touches for 51 yards in the past 2 games. That is nearly not enough for somebody who should be getting used a lot more. I know I harp on this probably every week, and I'm harping on it because he needs the ball. Chubb gets a lot of carries, and yes, he deserves a lot of carries. But Duke Johnson needs the ball, and he needs to get touches for this offense. He is a weapon. He's a weapon that needs to be used. 2 games, 5 touches. That, to me, is unacceptable. He should have 5 touches in the first half of a game. Matter of fact, he should have 5 touches in the first quarter. Receiving, running, ending around. I don't care how you get Duke Johnson the ball. Get this man the ball. It's not like we're just loaded with a plethora of weapons and you can't find out how to get them on the field. My goodness, 5 touches for Duke Johnson in 2 games. That is just ridiculous. Come on. And I will cry about it every week until I see some improvement for Duke Johnson getting the ball. Now, I know he's going through personal issues, and if that's the reason why he's not getting the ball, then I will fall back. But he wasn't getting the ball before the past 2 games. I just gave you the past 2 games numbers. I think he needs to get the ball. Nick Chubb is going to get the ball regardless because he is the bell cow back. That's why they got rid of Carlos Hyde. And boy, that looks like that was a great decision. Dorsey wins again because he's went to Jacksonville and done absolutely nothing. But Duke Johnson needs the ball. Steven says Cam Newton will throw a couple interceptions. Plus, the Panthers lost 4 straight games, number 5 today. There is no Greg Olsen. Thank you, Kevin. Bo says from Kentucky, says go Browns, 21-17. Ricky says we got to feed Chubb. The run will open up the pass game. Calvin says, hey, super producer G and Corey. Hey, Calvin, if you just tuned in, producer G is in Dallas today because his Dallas Cowboys take on the Eagles. So filling in, producing is Steve, who is a Browns fan. Producer G is watching, though. Give a hand clap as he's preparing for his showdown with the Eagles. He will be down on the 50-yard line cheering on his Cowboys. Clyde says Cleveland wins 27-17. They come out proving a point. Baker has his comeback game. Scott from Belmont. Kevin says, I agree. Scott says, go Browns. Callaway scores 3 TDs. Hold on. Woo.
How many drops?
Whoa. That was bold. 3 TDs. I like it. That's bold. Scott Ivy. 3 TDs. He says, blow them out. Calvin says they need to find out a way to incorporate Chubb and Duke. I still say him and the coaches have had it out for something, to the point they might do something dumb like release him next season. Gary says, yeah, buddy, that's producer G if you don't know, as he is watching from Dallas. Calvin says, what up, Steve? Welcome, welcome. Kevin says we have to pressure Cam. And my guy, LA, says, what up, what up? On the way to the game. So LA will be on the way to the stadium. LA is in the game. It's official. The Browns won. It's over. LA's in the building. Producer G's in Dallas. So Dallas probably is going to win. We got 2 officials. So, hey, ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be a good Sunday. Let's get it going. Comment your score. Bold predictions now. Get them in the comment section. Who wins and why? We're back home. The big dogs are barking in Cleveland, Ohio. The dogs are back out. Let's go. We got to get amped up for this game. We lost. We were on a winning streak. We don't know what this losing stuff feels like anymore, right? 2 in a row. What's going on? We lost? What's going on here? What's this losing stuff? We got to get it going. Zach says, let's go, dogs. That's right. Well, addition by subtraction. Addition by subtraction. I was taught that in life sometimes. We get Terrance Mitchell back today. Yes. Woo. We are whole again. Nope. Denzel Ward's out. Man, just when you thought. I'm glad that Mitchell's back, though. He was playing some good ball before he got hurt in week 4. Fractured his forearm. I didn't think he was going to come back, to be honest with you. I was like, well, that's it for him. But he is coming back today against Carolina because, boy, we could use him. I thought we were going to have Mitchell and Ward back. Yeah, but nope. Ward is out with the concussion. But we do have Terrance Mitchell back. Booster the secondary. We're going to need him tonight. Who should he guard, though? My goodness. Do we have anybody that's going to guard McCaffrey, Steve? Do you think anybody that's going to guard McCaffrey out of that backfield? My
Oh
goodness.
my gosh, Duke Johnson. I mean, like
We're gonna put Duke on defense.
right. Like I don't even know if we have a fast enough linebacker, so that's out of the question. You're gonna probably have to put like just mostly nickel, just put a slot in just to cover him. I mean, it's crazy.
All right, Peppers, get your money, buddy. You want to be something? Good luck. But yeah,
he cannot play 40 yards off the ball. He's got to come down into the box, shadow, whatever you got to do. That's your key. Your key is Christian McCaffrey.
And also,
what do they call him, white chocolate or something like that?
And also something to look for. They finally have found out that Curtis Samuel is actually a good player, which does well for us. He has now been using the offense, so he is another weapon. And they said, oh, yeah, we did draft this guy, and he's actually pretty good. So Curtis Samuel has been doing well, along with Christian McCaffrey, who is now starting to ball out, put Peppers on him, laugh out loud. Hey, you got to do something. Come on. You want to make your name? Do something.
I mean, how many times have we said that Peppers was the best athlete, or we drafted him last year? Oh, he's the best athlete in the draft. He's the best athlete on the team. Well, okay, here we go.
Put him on him. Have him shadow him. Do something. Come on. I'm not saying anybody's going to stop McCaffrey, but hey, let's go. Linebackers can't guard that man. Traditional safeties ain't going to guard that man. Let's see what we can do, because McCaffrey besides Cam, that's their main weapon. So we're going to have to see who is going to stop McCaffrey today. Bring Peppers up, bump and run, make him work today, says Calvin. Put some work on him. Terrance Mitchell's back. Ward is out. Somebody's going to have to deal with McCaffrey. Christian McCaffrey out of the backfield. Ed McCaffrey was his father. I watched him at Denver. He was pretty good too. Come on. That's going to be a big, big test. Christian McCaffrey in the backfield, out of the backfield. Cam's going to look for him a lot tonight. Curtis Samuel. And watch out for DJ Moore as well. The rookie DJ Moore has been playing well. This is going to be a game. They're coming in. 4-game loss streak. 4-game losing streak. Cam coming off a 4-interception performance himself. 2 TDs, 4 picks, 300 yards. He's not a happy camper. Not at all. Cam is not a happy camper. So this ought to be very interesting to see. Cam versus Baker. 7 interceptions between them last week. Man, one of us got to win. Come on, Baker. We can do it. Let me know. Ross says get that win. Get out of the basement. And Calvin says jam him up. Throw off Cam. You got to make Cam beat you through the air. Don't let Cam get running around, getting first downs, start flexing on us, doing the Superman and dabbing, and we don't need all that. We don't want him getting confidence up. Make him beat us with his arm. Steven says defense will shine today. 3 sacks, 3 interceptions, and 1 forced fumble. Did you know we didn't have a turnover last game? We've been getting turnovers all year, and last game we did not have 1 turnover. That's huge. We need to get back into the turnover category. We need to win the turnover battle like we've been doing all year long. That's what we have to do. Turnover. Greg Johnson and them boys. Freddie Kitchen. Greg Johnson. Greg Williams. Greg Johnson. Where'd Johnson come from? Greg Williams and them boys. I was thinking about Gus Johnson, my friend. Anyways, Greg Williams and them boys. Get that defense ratcheted up. Get the turnovers. Get the offense a short field. Let's beat these darn Panthers. 31-14, Ross Lions. Thank you, Ross. I like that score. That score is nice. And now in NFL news, this kind of ties in with Cleveland. Work with me here. Aaron Rodgers and his buddy, Mike McCarthy, are no longer best friends.
Were they ever best friends to begin with?
At one point, when they won a Super Bowl, they were best friends. Mike McCarthy fired, released, however you want to call it, from the Green Bay Packers. Look at that beard. That's a beard right there. Fired, gone. Would you want him as your head coach on the Cleveland Browns? Let me know in the comment section. Would you want Mike McCarthy as your coach on the Cleveland Browns next year? Would you want him on the sidelines with a brown hat and a brown shirt? Let me know. Would you want that man as your next head coach? He is now available. He probably will get a job soon. He has a good resume. Would you want him as your next Browns head coach? And I can give you some numbers on Mike McCarthy that will back up his resume. And you can see him on your screen. 135, 85, and 2, 125, 77 in the regular, 177 and 2 in the regular season, 10 and 8 in the postseason, and a Super Bowl champion. Why would you not want that guy? Tell me why you don't want that guy right now. If you don't want him, tell me why you don't want him. Look, don't the numbers speak for himself? Look, you've seen the numbers. You've seen the winning percentage. Why don't you want that guy? You just seen the numbers. He's a Super Bowl champion, right? Perfect. Hire him right now, right? I mean, I guess. Super Bowl champion, winning record, winning postseason record. Right? Surefire, hire tomorrow. Get him in the building. Let's get it going. That's what most people would say. I think that's what most people would say. But I'm not most people. Here come the boo birds, probably. Maybe. And I'm going to tell you why in a minute. I'm going to let Steve go. I think he has something to say.
I don't know. Why not just kind of give Greg Williams a shot? Like, I understand the NFL's procedures for hiring, and I know that they have policies in place like the Rooney Rule and whatnot to determine how you can go about the process of hiring a new coach. But you know what? Mr. Come Get Some, is kind of my guy now. The players have rallied around him. They enjoy Freddie Kitchens as the offensive coordinator. They feel like, they're energized. I don't see a problem, and I wouldn't have a problem if they just lifted the interim tag off of Greg Williams and made him the head coach. I know the NFL doesn't like doing that, or that's not their policy or their procedure, and I get that. But, I mean, I would think that the Browns would kind of want to try to maybe petition for an extension. I mean, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
I like that. Ain't broke, don't fix it. Let's see what the comments say before I go on why I say no to Mike McCarthy. Clyde says, heck no. LA says, sure, I'll take him. Great resume. Better QB whisperer than Hugh. Calvin says, question is rep. We're going to keep him more than 2 seasons if we're losing. Clyde says he has great QBs. It's like LeBron effect when he plays for coaches. Bradley says, watching from Deltona, Florida, Browns win today 35-24. Go Dogs. Mike McCarthy. Great numbers, as you see. Put him on the screen. Won a Super Bowl. He's a great coach for any other organization but mine. I don't want him on my team. I know that sounds rude and harsh, but listen. And I know they say, well, Aaron Rodgers got him fired. Yeah. Listen. Whenever you have a great player, that comes with the territory. That's what's going to happen. Maybe if you agree Aaron Rodgers is great or not, we can have that discussion another day. It's the end of the day. Like Clyde said, it's the LeBron effect. It happens when you have great players. Kobe Bryant had issues with Phil Jackson at first. Great players, this is what happens. You had Aaron Rodgers for the better part of a decade, and you got 1 Super Bowl win. You can blame Aaron Rodgers if you want. You can blame Mike McCarthy if you want. But at the end of the day, for the better part of a decade, you got 1 Super Bowl win with Aaron Rodgers. Now, is that good enough or is that bad enough? For me, I don't want him coaching the Cleveland Browns with Baker Mayfield. I just don't. I want a fresh, a better coach than Mike McCarthy. I just don't see. He's supposed to be an offensive guru, right? He's an offensive guru with Aaron Rodgers. And you couldn't win more than 1 Super Bowl with Mike McCarthy, and you had Aaron Rodgers. Right. Aaron Rodgers won. So you mean to tell me that you're going to come in here and win more than one Super Bowl with Baker Mayfield? Really? Is that what I'm supposed to believe? Because we're all winning Super Bowls. That's what we want to do now. We want to win Super Bowls, right? Super Bowls. I'd rather go with potential now if we're going to do that. If we're going to hire Mark McCarthy, just give me somebody with some potential at this point, a Lincoln Riley. I'll go that route at this point. Just give me a Lincoln Riley. Give me somebody with some potential, somebody who just had two Heisman Trophy winning quarterbacks at this point. Give me some potential. Don't give me somebody I already know what most likely his ceiling is. A decade with arguably the greatest talented quarterback we've seen. Talent, but didn't say greatest quarterback. Don't everybody put their hair on fire. Oh, my God. No, I said talented. One Super Bowl. One. In a decade. One. So you're going to tell me I want him as a coach with Baker Mayfield? So the best he might do is get one Super Bowl. One. I know. Say Cleveland. We'll take that one. LeBron got us one championship in Cleveland. What are we doing? People still hate that man. Oh, he left. He sucks. He's trash. One. So if he gets you one, yeah, we'll like him for a little bit. Then what? He had Aaron Rodgers and got one Super Bowl. Should have more than that. Look at Belichick and Brady. Belichick and Brady. That's a coach. This man got one Super Bowl with Aaron Rodgers. Yes, the numbers look great. But I'll take somebody with some potential over that. I just will. If we're going to go that route, give me somebody with some potential or stick what we already have and what's working. That's how I see it. LA says Ginobili is active. Wonder how bad the injury really is. Calvin says that's my whole point. You can't win with Rodgers. LA says that isn't his fault. Packers did a terrible job building around Rodgers, and Lincoln said he wasn't leaving. Calvin says, do we want just a playoff snack or a Super Bowl meal? I like that. A playoff snack or a Super Bowl meal. I want the Super Bowl buffet. That's what I want. I want a Super Bowl buffet. That's what I want. Well, this is Everything Browns Nation. We are more than halfway through the show. Now, if you haven't watched this show before, or if you missed anything, you can catch us on iTunes, SoundCloud, Google Play later. Just go on there, give us a listen, put in your earbuds, and roll with us. YouTube, subscribe, Everything Browns Nation, or you can watch us again on Facebook. And let us know, what are you actually watching on? Is it TV, iPhone, iPad, Android, tablet? What are you watching on? Let us know. We want to know, what are you watching on? Is it Wi-Fi? Is it your data plan? We want to know all these things. So just let us know what you're doing, what you're watching on, and make sure you comment your location. We'll shout you out. Where are you watching from? Is it Columbus like me? Is it Cleveland? Are you headed to the stadium like LA is to watch the game? Are you in Dallas with Producer G? Are you in Dallas? Just let us know where you're at. Give you a shout out. Steven says Super Bowl meal deal. Calvin got something going. We want the Super Bowl meal deal. I like it. Just let us know. Hashtag Super Bowl meal deal. Let us know where you're making those comments from. We'll give you that shout out. I want to appreciate everybody who has been watching. We appreciate you guys. This is Everything Browns Nation. Greg said he's watching from San Antonio, Texas. San Antonio, Texas. And Steven said he's watching from Akron, Ohio. And I am here in Columbus, Ohio. And let me know who's going to win and who's your big dog of the game. And what do big dogs do? I think we got to bark. Big dogs do. What do big dogs do? That's what big dogs do. Natasha says, I like the Super Bowl meal. Grove City watching from the iPhone. Eric says, hello, Delaware, Ohio here. Austin says Bloomington, Illinois. Eric says watching from his iPhone. Now, as Browns fans, we like to consider ourselves as loyal fans. We are here for the end. We're here when nobody expects us to be. 0-16, we're here. 1-15, we're here. We're here regardless. No matter what people say, you can say whatever you want. We are here regardless what you say. Okay? Hugh Jackson, we're here. It doesn't matter. You name a coach. Romeo Crennel, we're here. Mike Patine, we're here. Name a coach, a quarterback, Derek Anderson, Kelly Holcomb, Charlie Fry, we're here. So FanSided said, you know what? Dag nabbit. Those Browns are the #1 fan base in the world. That's right, FanSided. Thank you. Thank you for acknowledging something right for once. The Browns voted the #1 fan base in the entire world. Give yourself a hand clap. Give yourself a hand clap in the comment section. Give yourself a hand clap. Right now, if you're watching, give yourself a hand clap. I want you to put down your device and clap your hands. Clap your hands because you are a #1 fan in the world. Not the city, the world. The entire world, says FanSided. The Cleveland Browns is the #1 fan base in the entire world. That means they polled the world. And this is what came up. Now, let me tell you who you beat. Give me a second as I flip my paper so I can see who the Browns beat out. And we beat out some impressive fan bases here, ladies and gentlemen. #1 was the Cleveland Browns. #2 is Greg. Good job, Greg. I'm glad you clapped your hands. You put down whatever you was doing and clap your hands. Calvin says we got to be #1 at something. Clyde's clapping his hands. #2 was Alabama Crimson Tide. Oh, I'm not even going to do it. I'm not even going to do it. Was Alabama. Hey, give them a boo. You can say I'm hating. I don't care. Boo. #3 is the Boston Red Sox. #4. Now, you don't boo it. If you boo this guy, I'm walking off set. #4 was my guy, LeBron James. #4 was LeBron James. Yeah. Yeah. #4 was LeBron. His fans are #4. #5 was Black Panther fans. Hey, #5, Black Panther. #6 was the New York Giants. No, New York Yankees, sorry. #7 was Serena Williams. #8 was all you Fortnite players. #9 was Kansas City. And #10 was the Philadelphia 76ers. So there you go. There you go. That's who you beat out, Browns fans. We did it. We're #1 in the world, according to FanSided. And I'm sure somebody's going to hate on that too, but I don't care. We are #1 at something. I want to take that to the bank. And in the article, they also put in there because we threw a 0-16 parade as well. So that shows you something about how dedicated these fans are. Hey, #1 in the world. Give you guys a hand clap. Give yourself a hand clap. We are #1, and we're going to stick to that, and it's only going to go up for here because our future looks bright.
I was at that parade, and I was on kind of a live stream of it, trying to get man on the street interviews and things like that. So it was ridiculous. It literally was 16 degrees below zero. It was 0-16 for the 0-16 parade.
Yeah. So let me see what's going on here. Steven says, Corey boy, you're the big dog of the year. I appreciate that. Big dog of the year. Ross says Brown's about to catch this L. Panthers are about to pound that dog pound. All right, Ross. Man, he just came in here and threw a grenade, didn't he? Man, he said we about to catch the L. He ain't said we going to lose. He said we going to catch an L. Come on, Ross. All right. Greg says your hat is fire. Appreciate that, Greg. LA says voted #1 fan base. Steven says I'm hungry for that Super Bowl meal deal. Eddie says, what up, Corey? What up, Eddie? LA says, of the world, Craig, top flight security. That's what I'm talking about. Greg says, laugh out loud at Calvin. Calvin says, Buckeyes don't roll with the tide. We watch the tide. Come on, Steven. Come on. You my guy, but come on. I'm about to read what he said. He said, LeBron is a Cowgirl fan, so boo him. No. That's my guy. As long as he don't like Michigan, we all right. Now, if he liked him, we have some problems. Eric said that parade also raised a lot of money for the Cleveland food banks. Hey, that's a nice little stat. So it raised a lot of money for the Cleveland food banks. So, hey, the parade actually, it did a little something. That's nice. So back to the game. Browns, that was just another side note. I thought that was kind of interesting about the, number one fans. I appreciated it. Browns, Panthers, 1 o'clock, Fox, Cam, McCaffrey, Baker, Chubb, Landry. Ugh. Let's go. The Panthers are the number 22nd pass defense in the NFL. They give up 257 yards a game. Well, the Browns are the 29th. We give up 276 passing yards per game. So both teams can exploit the passing game in this matchup. Steven hates Fox. I'm sorry, Steven. Fox are just, they got the money. Christian McCaffrey, like I said, I was worried about him. I wanted to highlight him for a reason. In his second year, it is his second year, right? Yeah, okay. It's his second year. He's 7th in rushing, 863 yards, 71 yards a game. Receiving, he has 80 catches for 663 yards and 6 touchdowns. He has 5 touchdowns rushing as well. Christian McCaffrey is going to get a heavy dose this game. That is their number one weapon besides Cam Newton. I'm telling you, he worries me this game. That's why I keep talking about him. Lamar Miller last week, if you watched that Texans game, we made him look like he was just some number one beast back, like he was leading the league in rushing. He's not. He's 6th, though, so he's not bad, but he's not number one. And you would have thought he was a number one leading rusher. He was just gaping yards like it was nothing, chunks and chunks of yards like it was nothing, and that's what worries me with this game. Christian McCaffrey is a problem, and he needs to be fixed and fixed quickly. By 1 o'clock, we got to do something. Or we can have a repeat performance of Lamar Miller and then some, because he's a way better receiving back than Lamar Miller. We have got to fix that problem if we want to win this ball game. We give up chunks and chunks of yards at a time, and Christian McCaffrey can get chunks and chunks of yards at a time. This guy is a problem. 5.3 yards per attempt, per rush. Think about that. 5 yards a carry is what he gets. My goodness. We got to match him in scoring. They're going to score the ball. I'm not saying they're going to get 40-something points, but they're going to score the ball. McCaffrey is too dynamic. Cam Newton is a weapon with his legs and his feet. He's turnover prone. The defense has got to get turnovers as well. Cam Newton, his stats won't knock you off your feet, but they're not bad. 24-11. That's not bad. Baker's at 18-10, touchdowns and interceptions. Think about that. Before Cam's four pick game last week, now he's at 24-11. He's been playing some pretty good football. 91 carries, 450 yards, and 4 touchdowns as Cam's rushing. We got to watch that too. And if you watch this show, you know how I feel about dual quarterbacks when we go against them. I hate them.
So I got a quick question then. So I've been hearing that Joe Schobert's having a all-pro season, and Christian Kirksey's back, and our linebackers aren't necessarily the biggest, but they're pretty quick. So maybe you could answer it for me.
Hope I can.
I just have a question about why do we have such a huge, deficit trying to cover the middle of the field or to stop running backs or stop slants over the middle or whatnot if our linebackers are so fast. Yeah, I would think with somebody like Christian McCaffrey, 5 yards a carry, 5 yards a possession or whatever. If you have fast linebackers, you should be able to match up against them in theory, right?
In theory, but there's no linebacker fast enough to match Christian McCaffrey. There's none. But the whole dual quarterback thing, you have to spy Cam Newton. You have to spy him. You just do. Now, that takes a defender away, I understand, from guarding a running back out of the backfield, yes. But you can't just sit there and run man against a Cam Newton, a Deshaun Watson, and think that's going to work, because if the defenders don't get to Cam, he's gone. He's running. We've seen that happen with Deshaun last week. He's gone. He's running. But to answer your question as far as stopping, there is no linebacker, and I don't know if a linebacker in the NFL is fast enough to guard Christian McCaffrey out of the backfield. Somebody give me one. If you know one in the NFL, you give me one that's fast enough to guard Christian McCaffrey out of the backfield. I don't know one. Schobert's very athletic. He's fast. To me, he's our best linebacker, but I don't know if there's anyone fast enough to guard Christian McCaffrey in the entire NFL. I'm not just talking Cleveland. I'm talking about the entire NFL. I mean, you send Christian McCaffrey on a wheel route, who's going to guard him? That's a linebacker. I don't see anyone doing it. Or even a slant. I don't see it. So you have to disguise your coverages better. Nobody's going to stop Christian McCaffrey. It's not going to happen. So we have to get pressure on Cam Newton to win this game. With 4. The front 4. That's how you get to Cam Newton. Pressure with the front 4. Garrett and them boys. Got to get pressure with the front 4. And if that don't work, that spy has to be on there. You just have to. If that takes one away from covering, so be it. You have to get that spy on there. You don't have a spy with a mobile quarterback, good luck, good night. Because they're going to take off and they're going to run. And it's going to be easy first downs. When you can have the best coverage known to man, if you don't have a spy on a mobile quarterback, that's going to eat you alive. You got to put a spy on him. Even if he's not athletically superior to Cam Newton, you got to have that spy on Cam, on the Deshaun Watsons. You have to do it, at least in my opinion. You have to do that. Joel says we need to start fast and let up. Eddie says 17-16, big dog, Baker Mayfield, 271, 2 TDs, 22 for 35. Benjamin says go Browns. Jerry says go Browns. Stale says go Browns. Thank you all. Steven says, I benched Cam today against the Browns on my fantasy team. All right, Steven. Way to show the faith. Calvin says we have to keep pressure on Cam, jam up McCaffrey, throw off his rhythm. And Calvin also says definitely have to spy him. You got to. No quarterback likes pressure, especially in their face. You get pressure on Cam. His footwork is already questionable at best. His footwork is questionable at best. Get some pressure on him. He'll throw off his back foot. He'll give you an interception. Get pressure on him. Pressure is the key. Now, I know that sounds just like, duh. Pressure is always the key. But with the front 4, if you don't have to blitz, you can have more guys in coverage, a spy. If the front 4 can just get pressure, that's going to be the key on defense for me. Garrett and them boys have got to get the Cam, especially Garrett. He's the only one to me that can get Cam down by himself. Just by himself. You seen what he did. I know Cam and Deshaun are totally built differently. But you see what he did with that one-arm sack. Like, come on. That's just disrespectful, a one-arm sack. Myles Garrett is physically freakish enough to get Cam down by himself with no help. Got to get to him. This is what you're paid for. This is the big bucks. Eddie says D-line has to play big today. Joel says Cam has happy feet pressure and we will prevail. It's going to be a big game. I'm excited to see how we bounce back from this. We had a little bit of success. We lost. A lot of the media was on Baker Mayfield. 3 interceptions. Where is he at? Mr. Cowherd was like, oh, I don't hear nothing from Baker now. Well, duh. He had a bad game. What's he supposed to come out and say? Supposed to talk trash when he played not the greatest? So I am very excited to see what he has to do. Luke Kuechly, that's a very good linebacker on the other side of the ball. I read that one. So it's time for the big dog of the week. It's time for those predictions. Do you have a prediction before I go, Steve? Before I give them all mine?
My prediction today, you know what? I'm going to go with the line. I'm going to go, even though it's even at home, you usually want to bet on the home dog or the even dog, if that's even a thing. I'm going with Browns right now, 27, Carolina 24. I'm going to keep going with them. My big dog of the week is going to be Mr. Garrett. I feel like he is going to be able to catch Cam from behind a couple of times. They're going to be able to collapse the pocket on him. It's going to be cold. It's going to be, weather inclement conditions. Hopefully, the wind will be whipping off of the Great Lake Erie, and it will mess up his passes, mess up his timing. I think Myles Garrett's going to come away with 2.5 sacks, a fumble, maybe even a fumble recovery today. That's what I'm going with for my big dog of the week.
All right. You got his prediction. Garrett's his big dog of the week. He has Browns winning a close one. Calvin says, share big dog Garrett and Baker share the bone. Steven says Myles Garrett 2 sacks and will be the big dog of the week. Calvin says, yeah, Garrett and an Ogba finisher. All right. Well, it's time for me to give my bold prediction and big dog of the week. Well, bold prediction, I'll go first. My bold prediction, who shall I choose today? Who shall I roll with? I'm going to go with Hollywood Higgins as a bold prediction. Just going to throw it out there. Just going to be bold today. I'm going to say Hollywood Higgins comes up with 5 catches, and out of those 5 catches, 3 of those are touchdowns. Now, that's bold. That's a good ratio, touchdown to receptions. 5 catches, 3 touchdowns, Hollywood Higgins. My goodness, that is bold. 5 catches, 3 touchdowns, Hollywood Higgins. There's bold for you. Will it happen? Who knows? But that's bold. 5 catches, 3 touchdowns, Hollywood Higgins. Time for my prediction. It looks like a lot of people are on Cleveland. Almost everybody. Except one person who came in a grenade and said the dog pounds will be pounded today. Eddie says his question, who guards Christian McCaffrey today? Eddie, we came with no answer today. We had no answer who guards him. Pray. Jam up the line. We had Peppers. Maybe Peppers get on him. Show your worth. That's all we got. We came out with that. Back to my prediction. Everybody's on Cleveland except one. I like this as a bounce back game, though. I really do. I really do like the bounce back game. I like a bounce back game for Baker Mayfield, to be exact. He's a gamer. He's a competitor. He had a very bad first half. Second half, he did better. Game script had a lot to do with that, though, to me. I don't think Houston was as aggressive. They had the lead. Their defense was playing soft. So a lot of his yardage came on soft coverage. That helped his numbers. I think he's going to come back. I think he's going to bounce back and have a very good game today. They're at home. They're going against a team that is fighting for their lives in the NFC playoff picture. If Carolina loses this game, their season pretty much is done. It's over as far as playoffs go. They'll have to 9-7 is not going to cut it in the NFC. It's just not going to. You have to win this ball game. Carolina's coming in fighting for their lives. I am going to go with my Cleveland hometown Browns for this game. And my big dog of the week is Baker Mayfield. And as you'll see on the screen, Baker, TD maker. And you know what big dogs do. I'm going with Baker Mayfield. I'm going with the Browns to win the day. And I got the Browns winning 28-24 over the Carolina Panthers and Cam Newton. I got Baker Mayfield throwing 3 touchdowns. And if you know my bold prediction, all 3 of those are going to Hollywood Higgins. Yes, all 3. 3 touchdowns for Baker Mayfield. He is going to go 24 for 31. He's going to have 7 incompletions. What a ball game for Baker Mayfield. My goodness. 24 for 31, 278 yards, and 3 touchdowns. 24 for 31, 278, 3 touchdowns for Baker Mayfield. The Browns win 28-24. Baker, touchdown maker, is the big dog of the week. He comes back at home to beat the Carolina Panthers 28-24. Bold prediction, Hollywood Higgins gets all 3 of those touchdowns. Joel says big dog is Nick Chubb, two TDs over 200 yards. And Steven says with good old JR will be at the game, and it will be a slobber knocker. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I want to appreciate everybody for coming in to the show. You all came into the studio. I see you all. I want to thank everybody for being in the comment section, making a comment, whether you stayed for the whole hour or you stayed just for a minute. I appreciate everybody for watching this show. That is Steve filling in for producer G, who is in Dallas to watch his Dallas Cowboys take on those fighting Philadelphia Eagles in Dallas Stadium. I'm Corey Boyd. That's Steve. This is the Everything Browns Nation live podcast. This is a Fan Chat Nation production. You know the rest. Next week, 11 to 12. And the music come on. I'm out. I'll see y'all next week. Yeah.